Are you here because you are so freaking tired of waking up in the morning saying, I feel so stuck, right? You're feeling like you're just yearning for clarity. What should that big, powerful next step be? And maybe you've been trying to make all kinds of changes, but nothing seems to work. Well, I'm Meredith Alexander, CEO of Grit Mindset Academy and founder of the Epic You Formula. Epic You Formula is the #1 program. If you are here because you know you are ready for some clarity, you are ready to stop feeling stuck and start feeling some progress. The Epic You is if you are ready to unleash that epic version of yourself in your job, in your career, in your relationships, in your entire life. The Epic You Formula is for you if you are ready to wake up feeling like you are on fire, exhilarated by the day ahead. You are ready to live with more passion, to live with more purpose, feel like you're able to make money living with your passion. How amazing does that sound? And maybe start achieving things that right now may feel absolutely impossible. So what do I mean by all this? Well, look at it this way. Most of us, when we're in our 20s, we sort of vision what we think our life is going to look like 10, 20, 30, 40 years ahead in the future. And then at some point we wake up and maybe we look at ourselves in the mirror and we realize that the clock is just zooming by and we haven't achieved any of the things that we thought that we would have achieved by now. Or worse, maybe we are where we thought we would be, but we don't feel like we thought that we would feel right now. Well, if that's you, then this program is definitely for you. But maybe that's not exactly you. Maybe you're more like someone who is just simply tired of showing up day after day, really feeling like your own worst enemy, feeling like you want to make some powerful changes. You just can't get clear on what those changes should be, much less how to even get started. Maybe you've tried making some changes already. Maybe you've tried changing your jobs or changing your entire career, or maybe you've tried changing your location, or even maybe you tried changing your relationship. Well, how's that been working for you? Well, I'm guessing that if you're here watching this video, you're just feeling extremely struck, like you're on a hamster wheel and you are so tired of ending up in the same disappointing place where you started, right? Now, there's also a shot that maybe you're a third type of person. Maybe you're looking at this saying, you know what? Those other two aren't me, because I know that I have a mission. In fact, I'm starting to have a feeling of exactly what that mission is. I know that I have a purpose. I know that I have this epic potential just waiting to get started. The problem is, I have no idea what system is going to get me there. I need support. I need direction. I need guidance. I need to know what part of the process to put where. Well, if you are any of those three versions, then guess what? You are so in the right place, because this Epic You Formula, oh my gosh, it is absolutely for you. So look, if you are here watching this video, then you are probably realizing that in some shape or form, you are stuck and you are ready to get some answers. And you're probably realizing that you've tried trial and error and pushed it just about as far as you can take it. And now it's time to do something different, because you know what? It's just like Einstein said, you can't solve the problem with the same mind that created that problem, right? And didn't Einstein also say that if you keep trying the same thing over and over and over again, that's the definition of insanity. And that means the same thought patterns. If you keep thinking, well, I can figure this out on my own and keep doing it over and over again, well, guess what? Yeah, someone's looking right in the face of insanity here. So let's get things untangled a little bit, right? Probably if you're feeling stuck, you're realizing that you're missing a critical piece right now, because let's face it, there's tons of information out there. Maybe you've even tried listening to some podcasts, reading books, watching some videos on YouTube, or maybe even taking a course or two. But if you're here, you're realizing that something is missing. And guess what? We have a tendency to believe that that something is us. Do you know, I have trained hundreds of clients at this point, and we start with an opening questionnaire to kind of establish the context. And one of the questions that I ask my new clients is, what do you think is getting in your way? What is stopping you? Do you know that almost every single person says, I think the problem is me? Well, guess what? Newsflash, and this may come as a surprise to you. The problem is not you. The problem is simply that with all of this information that you have, all of the data, all of the experience, you don't have the accurate system or the support to understand how to put it all together. You've got so much of that data that's stuck in your blind spot. You just need some help getting beyond that. Yes? So would it be okay if I share with you a little bit about this program and why it's been so successful with getting people like yourself absolutely way beyond the stuck mode, right? To the place where they're feeling like they're turbocharged, filled with rocket fuel and on fire. So it looks like this. In the Epic You formula, there are 3 elements, and I deliberately call them elements versus steps, because each one of the elements is happening concurrently. So we start with the first element, which is the identification piece. This is like setting your GPS, right? Because think about it. If you were to go out there and buy the most expensive GPS in the world, and you plug in your destination, and then it says, we need to access your current location. And you say, oh gosh, not again. Come on. We did that. We did that months ago, years ago. Let's just get going. Let's just drive and get started, right? Do you think you would quickly and accurately hit your destination? Absolutely not. And ironically enough, this identification piece is one of the most skipped over pieces, and yet one of the most critical pieces of the entire process. So the first element is all about understanding, and I mean getting crystal clear on not only where you are, but who you are. Because chances are you are definitely not who you were 10 years ago, much less 1 year ago, and possibly not even 1 month ago. You really need to understand, who are you? That means understanding your passions, what you love doing. And passions can actually be a concept, an idea. What are your skills? Do you know many people, especially you women, come to me almost embarrassed to really acknowledge your skills. You feel like it's being arrogant or like you're being all that. Or sometimes some of your skills are just so natural to you, you don't even see them as skills. They're in your blind spot. You don't even realize that they're your superpower, right? So we have to get crystal clear. What are your passions? What are your skills? What are the experiences in your life? Some of them are going to be great. Some of them were probably really painful and even traumatic to have lived through, but they make you who you are and give you the perspective that you have today. What are your must-haves? What are the things that you absolutely must relatively consistently have in your life in order to show up as the best version of you? And then finally, what are your nice ifs? Can you dare to stretch a little bit, dare to dream so that maybe you can come up with not only your immediate vision, but what is the phase one? What is the phase two, phase three, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ahead in the future, but really with that deliberate objective. So you have a real shot, a real action strategy of getting there. So that's the identification piece. So in this piece, we have gotten you clear on where you are, who you are, where you want to go, why you want to go there, what's naturally propelling you in that direction, and what might be working against you. So this carries us into the second element, which is the reboot and recalibrate element. This is pure inner game. This is learning not only how to master the inner game, but how to play the inner game to win. This is where we take a look at not only how the mind works, how does it get over into left field and start working like our own worst enemy? And more importantly, how can we change that? How can we transform this resource that we have from being our kryptonite to being our superpower? How can our minds become the most powerful resource that we have at our disposal? And this is taking some of the greatest lessons from everything from some of the spiritual realm, like law of attraction, energy, to actually some of the scientific lessons from things like neuroscience. How do we combine them together and move beyond the things like fear, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, lack of self-confidence, all of those angst generating things that tend to stop us? How do we transform them into something that, again, can literally propel us toward that destiny? And also part of this element is learning how to create our own personal empowerment system. Because if you've noticed, people who define themselves as happy and successful did not get there by accident. They learned not only how to identify their negative triggers, but they learned to identify their positive triggers and how to stack as many of those into their day, into their week, into their month, and so on, so that when, not if, when those speed bumps and boulders started showing up in the middle of the road, they could just roll right over them and extract from them the things that could become even more rocket fuel. And this takes us to the third part of the formula, the third element, and this is pure outer game. This is the unleash part. This is where we actually, now that we've identified where you want to go, you're learning how to get out of your own way and create those systems and get that support. How do we now put a very definite action plan into place that is personalized, tailored to you, so that you can begin making progress right here, right now, beginning today, so that you can transform those dreams way beyond the dream state into becoming your actual destiny, and understand once and for all what it means to actually unearth that epic version of yourself and unleash that epic version of yourself now. I'm going to say eternally going forward. So if you know that you are ready, there is no better time to be ready. There is no better time than right here, right now. You have everything you need. Imagine life as that epic version of yourself. And what are you waiting for? Certainly not 6 months down the road of moral trial and error, right? So let's get you one step closer to that epic vision, beginning right here, right now, today. So I have shared with you who this program is for. May I share with you who this program is not for? This program is not for you if you are not committed to the possibility that you may have to make some changes in your life. And in some case, there are going to be some significant changes in your life. And those changes may feel a little bit uncomfortable. They may feel unfamiliar. And yes, occasionally they may feel hard. This is not a free program, so this program is not for you if you are not willing to invest in that version of yourself that you know you can evolve into with just a little bit of guidance and a system to get you where you want to go. And yes, this program is not for you if you are not willing to entertain the possibility that there may be something that you haven't tried yet, and that something may help you go really, really big. So you can see this program is not for everyone. And since it's not for everyone, I want to ask you that if you apply to be part of one of my programs and we decide that you are not yet ready to be part of these programs, I hope that you will not take this personally, because I also hope that by now you can tell that I am really, really passionate about what I do. I am passionate. The reason that I wake up in the morning is to see these transformation now in hundreds of clients with a system. I'm hitting my props here, but that's how passionate I am. I have seen I've seen this formula change the trajectory, not only of my life, but of the hundreds of clients that I've worked with by now. And I want one of those clients to be you. You can see from the testimonials that my clients have achieved everything from getting jobs that they absolutely love, winning interviews, making powerful transformations in their inner game so that they're feeling alive, they're feeling excited. In some cases, it's even saved marriages and created relationships. The important thing here is that I just want to ask you to really get real. How serious are you about waking up to a life that you love? How serious are you about getting unstuck, about getting that clarity, figuring out what is your passion? What is your purpose? And maybe you do actually want to make a powerful, positive impact on the world. So you need to figure out how to get there. I also want to share with you that, if you keep saying it's not time, if you keep saying I'm not ready, if you keep saying there'll be a better time, or I'm not sure if it's worth the risk. True, there are absolutely never any guarantees, but I can tell you that you do miss 100% the shots that you do not take. So, are you going to continue really banking and betting that if you do the same things going forward, that same trial and error, that same plan B, which by now is probably starting to feel like a plan XYZ, do you really think 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now, your life is going to be significantly better? I'm rolling out the red carpet for you here. I am offering you the opportunity to start taking your own life by storm. I'm offering you the opportunity to say to yourself, this is my time. I am ready. I am ready to step into my own. I am ready to discover what has been hiding in my blind spot. I am ready to unleash that most epic version of myself. I am ready to have today be the day that I say, this is where it all started. This is where I started the most powerful part of my journey. This is the moment when I started taking responsibility, ownership from transforming those things that had been mere dreams. In fact, dreams that I sometimes was even scared to dream, and to transform those dreams and claim them as my destiny. So if you can imagine yourself, or even if you can't imagine yourself, Now is the moment. Let's take that step. Walk onto this red carpet. Come join me. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Let's get you started. Let's get you enrolled, because when you unleash that epic version of yourself, no sky that you ever encounter will ever be able to have any way of limiting you. So let's stay fearless. Let's get you going. Let's enroll today, beginning here right now.